It is kind of interesting that, you know, the whole Paramount thing was happening. I'm wondering if Tom Cruise had something to do with that too, because let's face it, the man has a lot of pull, and not to mention he's got like a little religion that has a lot of money too. We're gonna see some pro-Scientology movies, aren't we? We're gonna see that, aren't we? What the hell is happening on this Tuesday? My God, guys, I thought about going live. I really did. I thought about doing a Film Junkee live because there's just so many things that have been announced today or shown today or whatever the hell. I mean, I got four topics, which is what I usually have when it comes to Film Junkee Live that I'm going to be talking about in this video right here. And, you know, I appreciate you guys clicking the video and, and seeing what I have to say about all this craziness. I mean, we got some awesome things. We got some really awesome things. And then we got some really, really, really not so awesome things. So I'm not going to ramble. Let's just dive right into it. We're going to go into the Star Wars universe first. The Mandalorian and Grogu are headed to the big screen. That's right, guys. We're not going to get a Mandalorian season 4. Apparently, we're going to get a whole movie when it comes to The Mandalorian. And I don't know if the running title is going to be actually The Mandalorian and Grogu. Who knows? But it's directed by Jon Favreau. Look at that. Produced by, of course, Favreau, Kathleen Kennedy, and then, of course, Dave Filoni. And, yeah, The Mandalorian and Grogu will go into production later this year. This is the way. And it is the way to go. Why aren't they going to do another season of The Mandalorian? Because, well, I think now that we're very much out of the pandemic and they're trying to get people to go back to the movie theater. I mean, obviously, we just had that drama when it came to the new director of that other Star Wars movie that's going to bring back Rey and all that's wrapped around that. I'm sure they were like, hey, let's put something out there that's positive and, makes us look better than we did last week. But again, a lot of these companies are realizing that streaming wasn't the answer. So now it's like, we got to get people back into the seats of the movie theater, and we got to get some of that delicious box office. And we haven't had, obviously, until since the Rise of Skywalker, we haven't had a Star Wars film. And, when it, like I said, that drama, so why not take the most successful series that Lucasfilm has and let's just make it into a movie. And hopefully, it's going to be like setting up some other things when it comes to the Star Wars universe, which we already kind of heard about when it came to the last Star Wars whatchamacallit, when they were announcing everything, that they're in fact going to take these characters from these series and then they were going to like put them in their own cinematic universe. And they did announce Ahsoka season 2 today, which a lot of people were like, good. That's also good. I mean, I enjoyed the series for the most part, not everything about it, but there's a lot of good that did come out of Ahsoka. So, and she's just a popular character when it comes to all that. So there you go, guys. That's the first thing that we're to talk about was, of course, the biggest thing, most likely. I mean, kind of the biggest thing, but the next one is also pretty big for another studio. Tom Cruise is headed to Warner Brothers Discovery. What? That's right. If you're wondering why he gave such a big, huge positive review of The Flash, this is probably it. Who knows if that's the case, but probably there's some kind of deal that was happening maybe earlier in 2023. But yes, Tom Cruise, excited to share this news. I look forward to him making great movies together, was announced. Yes, he has signed an exclusive deal to Warner Brothers Discovery, and a lot of people are like, what does that exactly mean? Well, it's a huge W for Warner Brothers Discovery to get Tom Cruise to be working on movies. And a lot of people are, of course, talking about the whole Paramount thing. Remember when we heard that David Zaslav was meeting up with the CEO of Paramount and basically going like, hey, let's how about we do some kind of merging here, because let's face it, Warner Brothers Discovery, they need that. A lot of people didn't understand exactly what was happening there, though. They were thinking that Paramount was actually going to buy Warner Brothers. I realized that today. I didn't think that people were that confused by it, but if you actually read all the information when it comes to that, it would be more Paramount getting sold to Warner Brothers. I mean, let's face it, even though Warner Brothers is they're in debt, they're in big time debt, and things haven't been looking good, and especially in 2023, they're still the big guy. They're still the big studio. I mean, it's Warner Brothers, for God's sakes. So It is kind of interesting that, you know, the whole Paramount thing was happening. I'm wondering if Tom Cruise had something to do with that too, because let's face it, the man has a lot of pull, and not to mention he's got like a little religion that has a lot of money too. We're going to see some pro-Scientology movies, aren't we? We're going to see that, aren't we? But it is pretty interesting, and I'm just kind of wondering, all right, so a lot of people are immediately going, we're going to get that Edge of Tomorrow sequel, which I'm going, does that really need a sequel? I don't know. I kind of like the movie the way it is, but if they come up with something cool, you know, in the Mission Impossible, after Dead Reckoning Part 2, that's supposed to be it when it comes to Tom Cruise and Mission Impossible. So no more Mission Impossible. Then naturally, everybody, of course, is just going to be like, what about DC? Is he going to be coming to DC? I mean, there's a chance we might see Tom Cruise showing up in a DC project. Obviously, people, as we do as nerds, we start casting him in the hero roles, and we've always heard that, what if he played Hal Jordan, Green Lantern? I mean, that's always been a thing. That's always been out there. But I'm like, nah, man, Tom needs to play a villain. He needs to play a villain. If he's going to show up in a DC project, in one of James Gunn's DCU projects, have him be a villain. Be a villain. Tom Cruise as a villain, I mean, I really just think about Collateral the most, and the fact that he hasn't really done anything since then, it's like, can we get something more from Tom Cruise being a villain? Can we do that? Because he can play a good villain. So if he's actually going to be in a DCU project, have him be a villain. Okay, Jimmy Guns? Wolverine! Hey, look at that! That's right. Apparently, this actually might be some concept art, or what, I mean, it looks absolutely beautiful, but I mean, obviously, we're going to see the mask. We're going to see the Wolverine mask when it comes to Deadpool 3. Hugh Jackman's going to wear it. And apparently, this is what it might look like, which, of course, the costume looks straight out of the comic book. So why wouldn't the mask also be straight out of the comic books? But this was actually shown today. Just wait until the sleeves get ripped off. I mean, that says right there, because a lot of people are complaining that he has sleeves when we see him in the Wolverine, the yellow costume. They're like, why would he do that? Why would he not have his sleeves cut off? Come on, man. Show the guns there, Hugh Jackman. But this looks awesome. This looks amazing. And I love the fact that, like, right there, Deadpool Updates actually did that whole thing where, you know, you have that image that looks like two Batmen kissing each other, because it does look like that. But hopefully that this is going to be the mask that is going to be in Deadpool 3. And then a lot of people are wondering if they're going to have the white eyes, but I'm like, hey, Deadpool has white eyes. Why would they not have Wolverine have white eyes too? And then we go from good costumes to well, to this. Yeah, that's right. We have some Madam Web reveals right here, which, holy Lord, this movie, I mean, Sony just needs to lean into the fact that this is going to be a bad movie. And maybe it won't be. Maybe it'll be shocking. Or maybe they'll just lean into it that it's so bad that it's good. I don't know. But these costumes do not look that great. And all the masks and everything just look so CGI and so just whatever the hell was going on. And God knows how long these ladies are going to be actually wearing these costumes. But this was the first thing that got released today when it came to Madam Web. And then here they are together. Hey, look at that. That looks interesting. They're all together. This will be probably a poster that's going to be showing up sometime later. But we got our first reveal of Dakota Fanning as Madam Web on an ocean spray bottle. That's right. This was floating around first. It's like, okay. It doesn't look terrible. It's certainly something. It's whatever. But yeah, again, I'm just kind of wondering, like, okay, how often are they going to be wearing these costumes? I mean, the final act, maybe? I don't know. But yeah, that also showed up today, and it was just like, yeah, well, where's the guy with the skateboard? Is he going to be skateboarding to Fleetwood Mac with one of these in his hand? So there you go, guys. There's the good, the bad, and the ugly right there when it comes to everything. I mean, I think the first two topics were great, and then, of course, the Wolverine mask looked freaking awesome, and then we had Madam Web. Save the best for last, right? I mean, what could he do? But yeah, I just thought I'd go over some of those things that happened today, and I appreciate you guys clicking in on the video. You know, of course, if you want to become part of the members only, if you want to be a member of Film Junkee Live, become a member. I do a stream every Wednesday. You know, it's a little more intimate. and everything. So if you guys want to join that, support the channel, and then of course ask me any kinds of questions tomorrow night, do so. And yeah, guys, hit that like, thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, follow me on all the sock meds that are around me. You can support the Patreon as well if you want to support the channel with that method as well. So go ahead and do that. And yeah, members, I'll see you guys tomorrow, and everybody else, I'll talk to you guys later.